So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and you've seen that if you're here from the start, I partner with this call weekly with Dinah Hunter and Gary Knapp. And today we have the great pleasure and privilege of having our amazing CEO, Al Balla. You can see that this is the end of his workday and traffic wasn't his friend today, so he's in the car on the way. We're so grateful that you fit us in. And Dinah and Al and I and Gary were having a bit of a laugh. I don't know, for some of you that have been here a while, you might remember, might have been even 8 years ago, we were interviewing Al as he was going through customs in the airport. So this is another new one from a very committed CEO. So a big warm welcome to everyone that's new in Mannatech, Australasian region. You've made a great choice in partnering with Mannatech. I'll give you the opportunity to learn a little bit more about Al's background. Al Balla joined Mannatech in October 2007 as Senior Vice President Global Sales and was then named Executive Vice President of Sales in June 2011. Due to his involvement in Mannatech's global sales and marketing efforts in January 2012, Al was named Executive Vice President Sales and Marketing. He was then promoted in February 2014 to serve as President International, Executive Vice President, Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, and he was named President of the company in May 2014, and in 2015, he was promoted to CEO. Previously, he served as Chief Operating Officer of Brit Worldwide, one of the largest independent Amway network marketing organizations from 1992 to 2006. While with Brit Worldwide, his main focus was providing motivation, training, and tools for associates in the field, more than 65 countries across the globe. He was also heavily involved in the launch and relaunch of over 60 international markets, including BRICS markets like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This propelled Brit Worldwide international sales volume to more than 500 million. In addition to more than 37 years of domestic and international experience in network marketing, he's got a proven record, includes growing major direct sales organization to 750 million, reaching more than 1 million people in 60 countries. He served as a manufacturing plant manager for Bose Corporation from 1983 to 1992, and he received an associate degree of electrical engineering in the Community College of Rhode Island. He's conversant and are fluent in more than 13 languages, and most importantly, Al Balla truly has his heart in Mannatech, and specifically a heart for the associates in the field and our success. With over 3 decades in the direct selling industry in North America, 60 countries, it's incredibly refreshing and a real privilege to be part of a company and family of associates who really hold true to the mission of bringing the gift of wellness to the world with a heart and a strong sense of mission. That's Al's vision, and he's carried that out consistently on all of our behalf. Al, welcome to the Australasian call.
Well, thank you, Sharon. That I should call you once in a while to just hear you say all that. But anyways, I do appreciate that welcome, and welcome to everybody on this call, especially those of you that are new or this is your first time. We congratulate you for taking this opportunity to really learn more and join this amazing community that Sharon, Diane, Gary, and so many of you have put together. You know, when I hear people talk about this industry, when I hear people talk about the value that we bring to people in the world of Amazon, Alibaba, and the gig economy, Uber, and all those things, I tell you, the thing that we have that's more significant than anything else is this sense of community. And nobody has better embodied that than you folks in Australia, Australasia. Through this call, you really truly created a community. You're not all in the same downline, but yet you work together. You have really created an environment that helps to foster growth, but more than that, just foster this sense of community. And I really congratulate you all for that. So if you're joining for the first time, you're joining an amazing community of people that are committed, truly committed to your success, regardless of whether or not they benefit from it or not. And that's a very noble thing that you guys have done. And that's why I'm always available, always ready. Whenever you are, I am invited to be part of this call. I am excited to be on it. and hopefully can provide some insight, some value that can be of good for everyone. Um, so I think we're going to do this interview style, I guess, Sharon. But before we start the interview, I would like to just kind of, talk to you a little bit about some of the things that are going on that I think might be of interest to you. First of all, I am excited about Jeannie joining our team in Australasia. She is an incredible lady. I can tell you, I've had so many calls from people within the industry to say, "My goodness, you guys have done I mean, that's a great addition to your team." This lady has been in the industry a long time. She's been the president of the DSA there in Australia, which is a great honor, a great responsibility. Someone who truly understands the industry, truly understands what you do. She knows the industry from inside out, but the fact that she's kind of fallen in love with Mannatech is wonderful. And I congratulate Chris Simons and the team who worked with her to get her onboarded, to bring her on. And I am excited about what's going to happen there over the next few years with her supporting you all and bringing her experience, her knowledge, her love and passion for this industry to Australasia. And I hope that also for those of you who've been around a while, I hope you understand that this is really another sign of our commitment to the region and trying to find the best talent that we can find to help really shoulder this work that has to be done in Australasia, because we do believe Australasia is a very important part of the world. You know that every time I'm there, I have highlighted the fact that geopolitically, you guys are in a great place. And I know it's just a matter of time that we find a way to leverage that advantage that you have by being right in the middle of the fastest growing demographics in the world, the fastest growing middle class in the world, and also the fastest growing direct sales segment of the world's direct sales. It is happening in your backyard. You guys get a front seat to what's going on, and you get to participate. So I'm pretty excited about those things. I've spent the last week, last weekend, I spent it both at the ANMP, which is the Association of Network Marketing Professional, where I get to hear from leaders in the field, top earners, million-dollar earners, and so on in the field. And I get to participate in that, in the discussions, in the dialogues, and then listening to them. Spent 2 days there. Then I was in Austin, Texas, spent 3 days at the DSA with all the CEOs of the top MLM companies in the world, sitting at the table, discussing the challenges of the industry, but also the amazing opportunity that we have. So I'm coming from that really jazzed up and really excited. You know, it's amazing. After 38 years in this industry, I'm probably more excited about it today than I was 38 years ago, because of things like what's going on right now as I'm driving home and talking to you in Australasia, and feeling like I'm right there in your office, Sharon. I'm right there in your living room. Folks, that's an amazing advantage that we have. Technology is affording us opportunities to connect and influence on a global level like we've never been able to in the history of the world. So those things all play favorably in what you have signed up for, which is being global social entrepreneurs, global influencers, and deriving a lifestyle and income from your ability to influence around the world. Don't take that for granted. That's an amazing advantage that we have today that 38 years ago, when I got involved in this industry, we didn't have those kinds of things. And it was hand-to-hand combat every day. Today, technology just helps us to expand our horizon. So I just wanted to put that in front of this conversation, and then Sharon, I'm ready now for the interview.
Well, Al, one of my visions is I was so impressed by your Next 25 presentation at Manifest. And while I know that, it's a bit thankfully, I'm very grateful for the fact that that was made available for everybody by the video. I wanted to bring some of that content here to Australasia in reference to our region. So I think one of the things that you started with at Manifest was talking about expanding on those demographics, those trends that are changing, and with millennials taking over baby boomers and other factors in regards to the micro entrepreneur and the disruption of retail channels. Can you give us some background on that and how that's empowering really our profession?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I just in the last few months, I've taken a personal assessment, and one of the things that came out of my assessment was the word futurist. I love to live in the future, and so I spend a lot of time really analyzing trends. I believe opportunity is when we are ahead of trends, not behind the trends. And when you are ahead of the trends, you then can capitalize on what those trends are bringing, because in every phase of change that will happen, and this is in the history of the world, there's always been those who capitalize on the change in a very positive way. And then there's those people who become victim of the change because they were late at capturing it, or they missed the opportunity, didn't see it coming, got caught flat-footed, and so on. So for me, when I look at the trends, when I look at what's going on from this massive change the world is going through, there's a few things that come to mind. Now, you mentioned one of them, demographics. Look, we're at a pace to reach 9 billion to 10 billion people over the next 5 to 10 years. And that's a big jump. People are living longer. You have Asian pockets and other pockets in Africa and other places that are growing really almost exponentially. There is a lot of, there's a lot to be said within that demographic explosion, the explosion of the middle class. Why are those two things important? Because we are in a market that supplies to a need of the market, and that need is wellness. And for us, the larger the demographics, the better, the more potential there is, because there's more people who need the things that we offer, the value that we bring to the world. So both in terms of total size, but in terms of the size of the middle class, because the middle class is our best customers. We are not a commodity product. We're premium, science-based, patented, validated by clinical studies. We are all those things in terms of the products that we bring to the marketplace. So the middle class is our best customer. But the interesting thing for you guys specifically in Australia is that 85% of this middle class boom is happening in your backyard. Wow. It's all Asian. It's China. It's Vietnam. It's Thailand. It's Malaysia. It's all those countries. So for us, that's why a continued strong commitment to Australasia is important, because we believe that you guys are in the epicenter of this explosion. So I believe that's important. The other big trend that we see happening is in the wellness industry. As I said, it's over $4 trillion industry. It wasn't long. We were talking about the 1 trillion, and we got excited about 1 trillion. My goodness, it's going to be 1 trillion. And that was just a few years ago. And now all of a sudden it's $4.2 trillion. That's pretty amazing. Also, what we see with the millennials, the millennials now are going to become the largest group passing the baby boomers. So that brings with it opportunities, challenges, especially for those of us who are now knocking the door of baby boomers. because it's understanding how to tap into this vibrant group that's coming on strong. But the thing that's important about the millennials for us is, in general, 67% of them are open to flexible income opportunities. I mean, they literally invented this gig economy. They're the ones who they want more freedom. They want more flexibility. They want to give back. They want to make a change in the world. So technically, they're perfect. They're a perfect candidate for what we're looking for. But we need to make sure we have the right technology backbone. We need to have the right language for them. They don't want to hear about the big house, the big cars, and the $1 million boats. They want freedom. They want flexibility. They want fun. They want travel. They want to go around the world, and they want to make a difference. We are uniquely positioned for most of that. And those areas where we're not, we're very rapidly catching up. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But certainly from a technology platform, June 22nd, we're going to be launching something that I believe is a first step to answering, the need of them to make it easy for them to operate, to make it easy for them to be in business. You're going to hear a lot about platforms versus just a business opportunity. We want to be a platform opportunity. What else is another platform opportunity? Uber, Airbnb. You've heard of all these things that people are gravitating to because it gives them the ability, literally, to choose how they make money. But the nice thing is today, people are looking for gigs. They're not necessarily looking for a complete lifestyle overhaul. They're not looking to fire their bosses or that type of thing, because most of them are going to be their own bosses anyways. And with a shift in the workplace, with the number of jobs that are disappearing over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, they have no other choice. But it's a choice they want to make anyways. They want to be independent. They want flexibility. They want to be their own bosses. They're not looking to fire the boss. They want to just be the boss. And all those things are things that I believe we cater to. The other piece is globalization. The world is on course for globalization. It doesn't matter what the politics say. We're a global village. We're a global community. The millennials are also all about community. They want to be part of communities. I was reading just a few weeks ago how there's probably 200 communities on Google or Facebook about shower curtains. Shower curtains. People who sit around and talk about shower curtains.
Jeez.
But that's just the idea. People want, with technology kind of keeps us separate, but yet we want to belong. So that's why sharing this call is so wonderful. This community you guys have built is so important. And this is really the value add you bring to people, because people want to figure out a way to connect. Even if it's by Zoom, but they want that connection. They want to be part of this dialogue. They want to be part of the conversation on things that are really of value and interest to them. So I think I've covered most of it, but the rest of it, I mean, it's in my presentation. But all to say, our channel, our platform opportunity today, direct sales, is uniquely positioned to really tap into this need that exists out there for people, both in terms of income flexibility, community, and paying it forward and doing something good in the world. And that's why M5M is a perfect, it should be part of our conversation, because it's the perfect answer to what they're looking for.
Absolutely. And Al, as part of that, I was very excited to see the Mannatech personal website come through. I'm excited to see it. Is that a global initiative?
Yes, it is a global initiative. Yes.
Okay, great. And It sounds like phase one is a marketing platform. Will there be a CRM attached to that afterwards? It's going to integrate with Mannatech Plus, or how does that work?
Totally. So Mannatech Plus is already a form of CRM. If you guys are already using it, I hope you're using it. Use it more. I have to make decisions around whether that's the right app for us based on how people react to it. But I would say it has a form of CRM. This is what's exciting. The phase one of this deployment is going to be literally where every single page on Mannatech.com is going to be shareable. So you are on the Mannatech Plus page. There's a button at the bottom. You click it, and then that is shareable. That it becomes a link, and in that link is embedded your number, so that when somebody clicks in that link, whatever it is, it could be you send them something about the comp plan, you send them something about bounce back, or you send them something about M5M. They click on it, it automatically takes them to your personal web page. Okay, which then lets them either sign up or buy something, and be more specific about the thing that you actually talk to them about, not just this general, personal web page that now they have to walk through and understand and listen to something. No, it's going to be very targeted, very specific. Now, folks, this is not a big technology leap, but it is one for us, and it really has simplified the process of how we connect with folks and drive them to a business decision. Buy something, register your business. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now, phase two is all the other things that come with it. Now, there's going to be a combination of Mannatech Plus and this front end. This front end brings them in. Mannatech Plus gives you other opportunities to be able to either to use a full library of things, which is our videos and our flyers and other things. But I'm excited that we can go straight from the web page, straight from Mannatech.com, and it becomes a link. The link brings them back to your to your personal website, and your personal website gives them an opportunity for them to transact business.
Very exciting. That's something that I've been praying for some time. That's fantastic that that's happening. And I think you might see a few farewell ceremonies to the custom links happening around the country. It'd be nice to see them go, won't it?
Sure. This is a great replacement obviously for the custom links. And it couldn't have happened sooner. Trust me, we've been beating this horse for a long time. But, besides the CRM, we also created a content management with how we change those pages and so on. So it took longer than I would have ever wanted, but it's here. So now it's a matter of learning how to operate in this new with this new tool and maximize it.
And I assume that'll be launched with training videos and probably Zoom calls and stuff.
Yes, there will be they've already done some of the training videos, but I really believe it's going to be platforms like this helpful. It's getting somebody on this webinar and teach folks how to use it, and it's just a matter of time. You'll be teaching us how to use it, because once you get a hold of it, the field always finds more ways to really leverage these things than we at the office in Texas can ever think about. So I'm really looking forward to what you guys do with it, and then it is an iterative process. So we're going to give you this, you're going to tell us what you need, and we're going to come back and going back and forth until it's really the absolute ultimate tool for the business, and it's a commitment that we have started. Then after that, it's just a continual improvement process that we're going to go through.
Perfect. And the other thing that you focused on at Manifest was the customer experience aspect of things, and you ask for people to submit to CEO@mannatech.com because you're wanting to focus on that high touch experience for the customer at that end. How's that going? And do you still want us to talk to you about that?
Oh, absolutely. Look, in 2015, Jeff Bezos sent a letter to his shareholders and to his employees. He talked a lot about customer obsession. And that's a word I just used, at the board meeting this week. Customer obsession. Direct sales, network marketing, as we've known it, is definitely changing dramatically, and for the better, because it's become more of a customer acquisition process, which then turns into a business opportunity instead of the business opportunity. And then if we fail at business opportunity, then, well, maybe you can be a customer. The whole industry is shifting. And from a regulatory point of view, the FTC is hot on our trails going, if you're going to be a legitimate business, customers are first. But if you guys remember in the days where we were changing the comp plan, and if you remember my conversation with you all about the rationale of why we wanted to change the comp plan, is because we were reading those tea leaves way back then, and we wanted to make sure that we had a plan that really would create opportunities around customer acquisition. It took a couple of tries, and I think we finally landed where I think we should have landed. It's a nice balance between the two, but we are really focused on creating the best customer experience that we can. I'll be honest and say I do not believe we're there, and that's why I openly said, look, as you come across things that can be done better, please drop me a note at ceo.mannatech.com, ceo@mannatech.com, because those are the kinds of things I want to hear from you on those things. I'm very visible on Facebook, and we're going to be on those things, because I really believe that that's the secret to our success going forward. We have to be customer centric. We have to be about a great experience. How do we beat Amazon? Not that I'm in a competition with Amazon. If anything, I want to leverage Amazon in the future, but they have brought customer experience to another level. And there's a different expectation from people who buy anything they buy today. There's a different expectation, and direct sales have to meet that expectation. I spent hours with CEOs talking about this whole thing, and everybody, the Federal Trade Commission is going to wake us up, because they are pretty serious about this customer ratio of how many people are in it to build the business, how many people are in it to be customers. Because if you don't have customers, you don't have business. There's no business builders. There's no residual income if you don't have residual customers. And that's where I feel Mannatech has a really nice, we're in a nice position, because we actually have products that provide real value to customers. We've always had customers. 90% of the people were customers. It's just that we brought them through in a very circuitous way into Mannatech because of the pack, because it was the best deal, because we wanted them to get the best price. I hope that we've eliminated all of those concerns, and now it's just a big wide door for them to come through. I need to simplify the process once they get through. You might see in the future where everybody comes in as a customer, and then they can choose to become a business builder. But the first door, the easiest door to go through, the least cumbersome, least amount of information to be provided and all that stuff. Just come in, be a customer, try the product. You're going to love it, and then become a promoter, become an influencer, and learn how to create an income from that. But yeah, I think I've probably said more than I needed to, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about this customer obsession concept, and that's one that we're driving through, and we want to create it as a culture inside of Mannatech.
Fantastic. I'll make sure. I know Robin Sully has a few ideas. We talked about it yesterday. I'll make sure. Can't see if she's on, but I'll make sure she knows that she can pass that on in that way. The other thing that I think is really important from a futurist, we spoke about the micro entrepreneur, and that everything you're talking about right now really feeds into that other trend that's happening right now. So how can we best access those kind of people looking for that? I think you've spoken already, that's probably about their freedom and their lifestyle. For those of us wanting to reach out in that way, what's the most attractive way to do that?
Well, we got to be, I think we need to be a student of what's going on. 2 million people decided to become an Uber driver over the last few years. Why are they doing it? Again, like I said, they're not doing it to fire their bosses. They're doing it to make an extra. The average income is $387. So they're not looking for the big bucks. They're just looking for something that would just supplement what they're doing, at least the large majority of them. So let's learn to use a language that's more about the gig that can turn into a lifestyle, instead of trying to cram into them this idea of making thousands and thousands of dollars, and where then when they make $400, $500, they feel disappointed because they didn't achieve, when in fact they were looking for $500 to $1,000. So let's make that feel like it's success. So we're tempering down the offer, the expectation, while simplifying how that gets done and focusing on our real key value add, which is the community they become a part of, the people they join, the help in a super global. Remember, most people in the gig, it's still trading time for money, not scalable, right? Temporary. They don't get trips. They don't get to meet and be around other people as we are right now. So let's focus on those things that are truly what differentiates us from the gig economy. It's not just hours for dollars. It's not just local, and you're not alone. So if we focus on those things and learn to verbalize it in the right way, I think there's more people would join us, because today the idea of making extra income is now a fact of life. People have accepted that they need to do something more. In the past, if I go back 20, 30 years ago, people were so stuck in a 40-year plan. They were so stuck in I'm going to work for this company for the rest of my life, and then I'm going to retire, and then I'm going to, live life, the grand life after I retire. And people actually could do that. Well, today, that promise doesn't exist anymore. And you know what? People know that. People are smart enough to know that I need to diversify. I cannot have all my eggs in a basket. Lifelong careers are no longer in existence. Millennials are going to go to 13 to 17 jobs in their lifelong career. So they're ready. They're ready to hear about the right opportunity. We just have to bring it in with the right expectation and the right simplification. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does that help you? Does that help everybody? I won't mind if anybody has any thoughts on that, and if they want to let you know, Sharon, and you want to bring it into this conversation. But that is where our greatest opportunity is. And we don't have to make it bigger than it is. What we have is good enough. And the fact that we have real products, real value, we have a real mission, and the fact that we have all those things, and we're global in 27 countries, and I think you have all the right things to offer, and with the right expectation, and then, hold their hands through the process and make sure that you are a strong community that embraces them, makes them feel special, recognizes them. I don't think Uber drivers get a lot of recognition. I know they get ratings, but but I don't know about recognition. We have some things that these other things don't have. So let's leverage those things.
Yeah, I think the Uber drivers we used in Adelaide, I can see Kelly on here. They got a lot of recognition from us personally, but I don't think they'd feel like part of a community like this where they can. And that whole point about that trend of people needing a gig or that extra 500 to 1,000 a month, that's also beautifully wrapped up, I believe, in the new comp plan. I love the business unit concept and the language, and the team 2 and team 4. Like, it's a 5-minute conversation in a way to tell them how to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Team 4 is a great answer to that. It's a way to show people a pathway to $500. Very simple. It's not gimmicky. It's about volume. It's about customers. It's about you.
I'm not sure if I've lost you. Somebody message me. Can you still hear Al?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can. Can you hear me?
I can. Your video is frozen. Oh, there you are. You're back now. The other thing I want to touch on, Al, was you focused a lot on the controlled environment agriculture and our niche areas in technology and product development, and quite a rapid goal for product development. Can you give us the big picture of that?
Okay. Yes. Well, the controlled environment and agriculture. I mean, I went to New Skin a few months ago. We did a tour of New Skin as part of the company. Folks, they made deal of the fact that they were going experience in Costa Rica, and what we've been doing with aloe vera for the last 25 years. That's controlled environment agriculture. I mean, we have this most amazing, most pristine, cleanest, at the foot of a volcano, volcanic soils. I mean, no pesticides, no herbicides. I mean, everything done manually. That's controlled environment agriculture. We already do that, and that's one of the things that it becomes part of our value chain, right from the ingredient level all the way to the finished product. Amazing. So, I've never thought about it, but when they were bragging about the fact that they were for 25 years, and if that's a big deal, then we've been a big deal for 25 years. So that for sure is a feather in that cap. But now, going into this most simplified product pipeline, you've heard about the concept of essentials. Mannatech, a series of products that are going to be very specific in terms of their benefit. So we're launching an eye product because blue light is creating this macular degeneration of children all the way to adults, because we're in front of a computer, we're in front of a phone, we're in front of these screens all the time, and unfortunately, those cells don't regenerate. When they get damaged, they're damaged. So there's an ongoing degeneration of your macula that you need to prevent, and you're going to prevent it through nutrition. Now, people now get blue lights, and hopefully you keep your kids away from the tablets and the phones, as when they're younger, because it really has a nefarious effect on people's vision. So again, it's a product for the eyes. Then there's going to be a product for sleep, and then there's a product for the liver, and then there's a product for hangovers. I don't think we need it in Australia. Then there's products for I mean, we're launching that in China this year. liver product because fatty liver has been a big issue in China. And for some reason, the Chinese wanted us to have a hangover product. So we did one, and then everybody got upset with us because they thought, they should get one too because they drink more than the Chinese. So we're working on that. But then there's going to be a joint product, and there might be a brain product, and So we're going for very specific benefit, easy to talk about, but price point under $50, right about $50. The sweet spot of our industry today is a product that has an effect, and that's the sweet spot of our industry and already. So that's why Prime 7, Premier 7, the eye product, the sleep product, the hangover product, the liver product, all these products are going to be really competitively priced. The door openers to bring them into the big story. And I don't have to tell you, the big story obviously is glyconutrients. Every one of these products will have some level of glyconutrients in it. It opens the door for a conversation. It gives people an immediate benefit, immediate impact, and it gives you a chance to talk to them about the rest of the story. Does that make sense? How do you guys feel about that strategy in general?
That's fantastic. Because sometimes the leap to glyconutrients or abratos is really big, isn't it?
Right, it is. Especially if it's the first time you're having that conversation with them.
Sorry. Home business. Kids around. I've just typed a note.
There you go.
Go away. They're only allowed to come in here for snakes or bush turkeys entering the house or something.
Okay.
And so one of the other things I want to talk about is that you spoke about I know we touched on this a little bit, but I wanted to highlight it, that loop between entrepreneurs and customers and building on that relationship, making it seamless and positive, like a happy experience. How's these corporate systems that are coming into play going to help that?
Well, first of all, we got to open the front door. We got to make it easy for people to come in. We have to massify, right? We don't want a trickle of people coming in, and they have to go through all these hoops to get there. It needs to be wide open door, get as many people through the door as we can. And then the law of average kicks in, guys. I mean, the law of average says if they come in, if they have a good experience with the product, look, they're going to talk about the product. I'll give you an example. Last 3 months, we have this young lady who, she's an influencer. I mean, she's got millions of people following her on Instagram, on Facebook. Tried our product, loves our product, talks about our product, and guess what happens? She's brought in over 80, almost 100 people in the last 3 months. She's not even trying to build the business. She's just a happy customer who says, hey, this is my vitamins. And she's got a little thing in her Instagram that says my vitamins. And people go in there and go, oh, my God. And then they send me pictures of that and go, how do I get this? I get people from Ecuador, from all these countries in the world who want to know how do they get these products. Some of them we can do it. Some of them we can't. But she sold products in England. She sold products in Canada. She sold product in the U.S. And she's not even trying to sell the product. The fact is, even in the old system, she could do a little quick thing on her Instagram, put a link, drive people through that link to her website, and done. And she's creating volume. She did $4,000 in personal volume in a month.
Wow.
But this is the deal. She's not even trying to be a Mannatech associate.
That's quite attractive to people, isn't it, actually?
It is. Again, so that tells me that we open the door to as many customers as we can. We let them fall in love with our products and our technology, and through their influence, and then if we just give them a simple process to convert that influence into volume, all of a sudden we're helping influencers monetize their influence. Because everybody today is an influencer. Everybody is either a micro influencer or a macro influencer, but we all have a sphere of influence that we have been nurturing over the years. People who follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Zoom, on YouTube, and all of a sudden we say something about something we like, and boom, they want to know more about it, and it's a link that leads to a page that leads to an order that leads to a commission or a bonus. I don't know if I've answered your question directly, but that for me is a very natural, organic pathway to creating business and eventually to actually build business and have people who come in and join us in our business versus where we have, over the years, we've always forced the issue to some degree. Now, I'm not saying, I will never be the one that will say, well, the eye-to-eye, belly-to-belly process is done. It's not. There's always going to be opportunities to sit with someone and go to a business presentation and talk to them about being an entrepreneur. And there's certainly a lot of people who want to be micro entrepreneurs, no questions about it. But I think this other process also works, and we're facilitating it with technology, and we're being smart about how to create the linkage between interest and influence and to value.
That's so welcomed. That we're so grateful for that. A lot of thank yous in the chat for you, Al. Two final questions. You spoke about what you just spoke about leads into international expansion. So I know at Manifest you're talking about, I think we're in 27 countries now, and we'll be going into 100. For people who want, and there's been, again, you've coached us again and again and again, but to highlight that, start local to go global. Is that your advice? Like, I know China's open. We do have a few people asking questions about China, and I'm chasing a training on that. I'm chasing Chris Simons around the world. And what's your recommendations on the next steps for people who want to build international?
Okay, well, I do believe actually Chris Simon is currently in Singapore and working on a very exciting project for us, for the whole region. I can't say more about that for now because I'm waiting to get the feedback from him. But he's on a trail that I believe is going to lead to some pretty interesting things for us in the region, which obviously you guys play a big part in that region, so that's exciting. Yeah, it is about you think global. I mean, you got to stay global in your mindset, but you act local. Again, I can't wait to see another type of happy team come out of the Gold Coast. It's bound to happen. Somebody on this call is going to meet the next Julia Zhu, and then there's going to be some amazing things that will happen. So for you guys, I'd say stay really open. Look, you're the only airport in the world that I go into where everything's in Chinese. I mean, you're the only airport in the world that sells baby milk powder at the duty free. I mean, outside of Hong Kong and Singapore. I mean, you are obviously you are set up to cater to that community, and it's just a matter of time. Somebody is going to figure it out. Somebody is going to meet that Julia Zhu of Australia, and when you do, it's going to be amazing. I mean, last month they did $5.7 million in sales in April. Okay, this is someone who was a school teacher who 8 years ago was a national at 6,000 points, and now she's at $5.7 million in volume in 1 month.
Wow.
So and her impact and her influence is amazing. But that's only one Julia Zhu that exists. There's hundreds of Julia Zhus. Somebody needs to find them. Somebody needs to not give up on finding that person, even if your first try or your second try, your 10th try, your 100th try didn't work. Try 101 time, because eventually it will happen. You know, Dr. Hines found her through a series that happened. It's never strategic. It's just you go out there, you do the best you can, you talk to as many people as you can, you're as sincere as you can, you're as good a person as you can, and somehow the universe will conspire for your success.
Mm. And for the
Just as
Chinese
long
people,
as you don't give up.
for the Chinese people, are they attracted to the gig income as well?
No, they're attracted to amber toast. They're attracted to what our products do, because China is in great need, in dire need of wellness and wellness option and wellness solution. Just had that conversation with Gary Sanford today. You know, he's presenting in front of a group of Chinese people. The Chinese government, from the president on down, has talked about the concept of wellness. Is to be a great society, there got to be a society of healthy people. And unfortunately, you know, you may not know this, but the Chinese are highly unhealthy. They're unhealthy because of the pollution. They're unhealthy because of what's in the air, what's in the water. They're unhealthy. You know, it's
And
not
using
by
the Chinese
accident.
as an example, what about Chinese people living locally, though? So they may not have that
Well,
sense.
no, but again, that person is there.
Yeah.
That person exists. There's a person out there who's a newly immigrated Chinese in Australia who is trying to figure it out, who's facing all the hurdles of integrating into a new society, who was a professional in China doing menial stuff in New Zealand or in Australia, and she's praying for a solution to come to her. Now, who can influence her? It might be a person who can straddle the English Chinese, cultural divide. So it's probably a Chinese person that's been around in Australia for a while, who can talk to a brand new Chinese that just come in. Because I think the Chinese have been around in Australia long enough. They're probably as settled as most Australians are and most Americans are. We're settled. But the new Chinese is not settled. The Chinese that immigrated to Australia wants the Australian dream. And the Australian dream, just like the American dream, is hard sometimes. It's tough. And we do offer another pathway. We do offer another solution. It's not the easiest one, but it's worth it. And if those people understand how they can bounce back and forth between Australia and China, New Zealand, Australia, China, Singapore, if they can see what that means, then they're going to be part of your business.
Yeah, fantastic.
So,
what's in your heart to leave the Australasian region with? So there'll be people on this call today who are wanting to restart. There's people that are newly starting. There's people that are in full speed. What's your advice to our Australasian region going forward?
Well, first of all, understand you competition. Regardless of anything that's happened, all those things are just bleeps. They're little blips in terms of the total picture. And realize that you are in an amazing place geopolitically. Realize that these trends we've talked about earlier, they're real, they're happening. Just realize they're going to happen with you or without you, or maybe they're going to happen against you. Because in this great job exodus that's going on, in this great transition, There are going to be some winners. There are going to be some losers. You want to be on the right side of the equation. Are you preparing yourself? Do you feel, are you in the right place right now to take advantage of these mega shifts that are going on? Or are you going to be a victim of those mega shifts? And so I would say, grab onto this with renewed hope and expectation. Get back to your first love. Remember what it's like when you first met Mannatech. For some of you, you're just meeting Mannatech. Hang on to that feeling of what drove you here, what got you here, what made you say, you know what, yes, I'm going to do this. Remember those things and use those things as the fuel, and realize that what we do is good. Whether we're helping somebody with their health, whether we're helping them with their health, their wealth, whether we're helping them find a purpose, a significance, which, you know, for me, that significance is always picking up the phone, calling another human being, and being that voice of hope in maybe a life that's in darkness right now, where they don't see the options. They don't see the possibilities. They've given up on those things. And you can be that ray of hope for them. You know, and maybe it's a person who's stuck in a small dream, and you can be the door to a bigger dream. So those are the things that I would really say to everyone. This is a beautiful industry that we're part of. We really can transform people's lives. We can transform our own life. We can transform other people's lives. And let's grab onto that. Let's believe in that. Let's want to live a life of greatness. Let's want to live a life of significance, because just the average life, it's just average. God didn't create you to be average. He had this fantastic plan for you before you were even born. Now it's a matter of, you know, letting that come true. And I hope that Mannatech is how it happens for you. It could be something else. But don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for average. Whatever you do, go for the best. Go for go for greatness. And if Mannatech is your way to greatness, great. Because we're here to help you. If something else is, we congratulate you. Find it. Find that thing that is going to take you to your greatness, and we're going to be out there cheering for you, applauding for you, whether it's with Mannatech or not. So that's kind of my parting words, I would say.
Al, thank you for the generosity of your spirit and time today and heart. Very grateful. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Probably talk to you at the end of the year, at the beginning of next year.
Sure. Always ready.
Thank you so much, Al. Thanks for everything. Yeah.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do. And thank you, Gary. Thank you, Diane. And you, Sharon. And you're a great interviewer, too. Love it. You should have been on TV.
No, I love this one. This is good enough for me. My sweet spot. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week. Next week is Karen Dennis. Thanks, Al.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, Al. See you soon.
Thank you, Gary. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.